So let us do this, the last most important verse of 11th chapter, which is like a bridge to this chapter number 12. So chapter number 12, the name of it is devotional service. And Krishna is coming to the main point. The Supreme Personality. I told you dharma means to follow the instructions of the Supreme Person. And that instructions of the Supreme Person are focused, concentrated. The most important instructions of the Supreme Person are present in the chapter number 12, which constitutes our real dharma. So it's very relevant and very important for all of us. So before we go there, we'll do the last verse of 11th chapter, which is like a bridge, okay, which explains, which puts the seed for devotional service. Let's go through this. Anybody wants to read this verse? Beside this? Okay, I'll do it. Matkar makrin mat paramo madbhakta sangha varjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasa mam eva pandava. Hare Krishna. Yeah, translation you'd like to read? Sonia Mataji, yeah, translation you can read.
Thank you, Prabhuji. My dear Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shall I read the purport?
You can read the purport also, yes.
Okay. Purport. Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Loka planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality Krishna must take this formula as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to the conditioned souls who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over nature and who do not know of the real spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now, here is the verse which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in his spiritual activity, devotional service. As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities, as stated in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255. Anasakya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjatah Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Viragyam Uchyate. No work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna Karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work. The result should be done only for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transform that activity into Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. If a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and if he has to offer all this to Krishna, he can do it. This is work for Krishna. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna, and he can install a deity of Krishna and arrange for the deity's service as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna, and one should accept as prasadam the remnants of offerings to Krishna. If one constructs a very big building for Krishna and installs the deity of Krishna, one is not prohibited from living there, but it is understood that the proprietor of the building is Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. If, however, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna, one can engage himself in cleansing the temple for Krishna. That is also Krishna karma. One can cultivate a garden. Anyone who has land in India, at least any poor man has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. He can sow tulsi plants, because tulsi leaves are very important, and Krishna has recommended this in Bhagavad Gita. uh, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Krishna desires that one offer him either a leaf or a flower or fruit or a little water. And by such an offering, he is satisfied. This leaf specially refers to the tulsi. So one can sow tulsi and pour water on the plant. Thus, even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. These are some of the examples of how one can engage in working for Krishna. The word Mat Parma refers to one who considers the association of Krishna in his supreme abode to be the highest perfection of life. Such a person does not wish to be elevated to the higher planets, such as the moon or sun or heavenly planets, or even the highest planet of this universe, Brahmaloka. He has no attraction for that. He is only attracted to being transferred to the spiritual sky, and even in the spiritual sky, he is not satisfied with merging into the glowing Brahm Jyoti effulgence, for he wants to enter the highest spiritual planet named Krishna Loka, Loka Vrindavan. He has full knowledge of that planet, and therefore he is not interested in any other. As indicated by the word Mad Bhakta, he fully engages in devotional service, especially in the 9 processes of devotional engagement: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering prayers, carrying out the orders of the Lord, making friends with Him, and surrendering everything to Him. One can engage in all 9 devotional processes, or 8, or 7, or at least in one, and that will surely make one perfect. The term Sangha Varjita is very significant. One should disassociate himself from the persons who are against Krishna. Not only are the atheist persons against Krishna, but so also are those who are attracted to the fruitive activities and mental speculation. Therefore, the pure form of devotional service is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 as follows: अनाभिलाषिता शून्यं ज्ञान कर्माद्य अन्त अन्त अनावृतम् अनुकूल्य कृष्णौ शिलानां भक्तिर uttama. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. He must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to the fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Anukulya Sankalpa Pratikulya Vrajanam. Hari Bhakti Vilasa 11.676. One should think of Krishna and act for Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna's from the very beginning of Krishna's birth. Kamsa planned it so many ways to kill him, and because he was always unsuccessful, he was always thinking of Krishna. Thus, while working, while eating, and while sleeping, he was always Krishna conscious in every respect. But that Krishna consciousness was not favorable. And therefore, in spite of his always thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day, he was considered a demon. And Krishna at last killed him, sorry. Of course, anyone who is killed by Krishna attains salvation immediately, but that is not the aim of The pure devotee. The pure devotee does not even want salvation. He does not want to be transferred even to the highest planet, Goloka Vrindavana. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy. Nirvaira. How is that? How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all the problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India, also there are many examples, such as Thakura Haridasa and Prahlad Maharaja. Why such examples, such as Thakura Haridasa and Prahlad Maharaja? Why such risk? Because they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness, and it is difficult. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. Now, we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is a temporary manifestation, and the form of time, which devours everything, and even the form of Vishnu, four-handed, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all these manifestations. It is not that Krishna is a manifestation of the original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important, but the original form, two-handed Swayam Sundara, Shama Sundara. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to the Shyama Sundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of universal form. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thanks
Krishna,
for the
Mati.
opportunity.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna devotees. So, how was the purport? I mean, what did you? I mean, I want you to just react to the purport and maybe share your realizations. What do you remember? Anything? How many of you think that this is the best purport of Bhagavad Gita? Do you agree? Yeah. This is so good, isn't it? Everything seems to be the best. You know, so far what we saw, the previous two verses, we thought that was the best. But this seems to be better than that. It's so best, right? So good, so beautiful. So let's try to understand this, okay? My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, mat karma krin mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjita. Let's see the verse synonyms, very important. Mat karma krit, engaged in doing my work. What is the meaning of mat karma? You know, a lot of people think that Krishna is impersonal. If Krishna is impersonal, what is the meaning of mat karma? What is the meaning of working for an impersonal? You know, is there any meaning at all? Mat karma, impersonal work. What does that mean? There's no meaning for that. Mat karma krin. Let's understand. Okay, mat karma means Krishna karma. So what is Krishna karma? We'll understand. Prabhupada described in great detail, very practically. How many of you agree that this verse is very practical? practical information, right? It's exactly giving us what we are supposed to be doing. A lot of times, a lot of people read Bhagavad Gita, right? And they get lost. They don't understand, what should I do now? Okay, I mean, one chapter says, I should realize that I'm not the soul. One chapter says, we are supposed to do fire sacrifices. One chapter says, we are supposed to do Nishkama karma. One chapter says we have to be in knowledge. One chapter says we have to do meditation. What's going on? But if you want to understand what exactly are we supposed to do, the entire essence of Bhagavad Gita is there in this single verse. That's what Prabhupada said. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. If you want one instruction that you want to take away from Bhagavad Gita, you want to remember one verse, you want to just follow one verse of one instruction of Bhagavad Gita. If you want to implement in your life, let this be that verse. Just this verse. Enough. Everything is there inside this. Mat karma krin mat paramo. First, mat karma krin. Engaged in doing my work. We have to do Krishna karma. Okay? Let's go step by step. Mat karma krin. So we have to do Krishna karma. Right? It is explained here. What is Krishna karma? So Krishna karma means we should transfer our energy to Krishna conscious activities. So there's a very nice verse here. Prabhupada quotes it a lot of times. Anasaktasya vichayan yatatam yatarham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. No work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of the work. The result should be done only for Krishna. Very deep. Let's just digest this two lines, this line. That's it. What is Krishna karma? So if I ask you what is the definition of Krishna karma, okay, may I ask you, what is Krishna karma? What did you understand? What is Krishna karma, devotees? Anybody can rephrase or just tell your understanding. What is Krishna karma? What are we supposed to do?
To work for Krishna.
Work for Krishna. Okay. What we are not. Yeah. And then, yeah, please go ahead.
Transfer your energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities.
Transfer your energy to Krishna conscious activities. Yeah. What else? Yeah.
The result should be devoted to Lord Krishna.
Result should be given to Lord Krishna. Very nice. What else?
We should not expect anything from Krishna. We should do the service to Krishna, but
we should not expect anything from Krishna, but we should do the service, right? That's very important because, and there's a verse in Shikshashtakam, no? Which says, Ashlishyava padaratam piraschumam adarsanan marmahatan karotuva yata datava vidadatu lampato matprana natastu sa eva naparaha. Okay, we don't expect anything from Krishna, but we surrender everything to Krishna. That's nice. Good. What else? What is Krishna karma? I mean, just tell your version of it. You don't have to exactly rephrase whatever is there here. Just tell your version. What do you think is Krishna karma? That's it. What is Krishna karma?
Prabhuji, whatever duty we have or whatever we do in life, we have to keep doing it. But then we, just like a mother does everything for the child, we do everything for Krishna without having any self. Don't expect for your own self, but do it for Krishna with love and affection or whatever it is. But do your duty.
Yeah, do your duty and do it for Krishna. Okay, fine. What else?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Keeping Krishna in center of all the activities that we do.
Keeping Krishna in the center for all the activities that we do. Okay, great.
Yeah, just to add that one should not be attached to the result of the work.
What does that mean? Can you practically say something about what do you mean by result? How do you practically just say, what do you mean by result of my work?
So whatever you do it for him, the Lord. The result should be for him.
Okay. What is that result?
Whatever you do, that should be transformed, that activity, into Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
The whatever profit or whatever you get.
Yeah, profit. For example, example has been given here. So example of the businessman. Tell me the example of a businessman.
Like instead of building a big building for yourself, you need to construct a temple.
Yeah. Instead of spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to construct big towers, right? For example, I think there's some very, very rich people who construct their towers. Maybe Trump has his own towers, I think, Trump towers or something like that. I don't know. Right? Some very, very rich people, they've got big towers, isn't it? In their names, isn't it? Now, what is Krishna karma? I mean, what are they supposed to be doing actually? If they have to transfer it to Krishna, what are they supposed to be doing?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You
Yes.
dovetail whatever big or small, whichever work it is.
Yeah.
For you dovetail all your activities to Krishna and be a part of it without expecting anything in return.
Right.
Prabhuji, by constructing a temple instead of big buildings, what we are doing is that we are helping in spreading the Krishna consciousness and love for Krishna. So, Krishna's, what I understand that from Bhagavad Gita also, that we are supposed to spread this Krishna consciousness, not only have Krishna consciousness. So by constructing the temple, we are facilitating that. Instead of increasing our material wealth, we are helping in spreading Krishna consciousness also.
Correct. Yes. Thank you, Mansi. What else?
Basically, we should do karma.
Akarma. Okay, fine. What else?
And don't get entangled in karma, because that will lead to your next body. So whatever you do, if you dovetail it with Krishna, then whatever you're doing is a karma, and also you should work to gratify Krishna's senses and not your senses, with no doership.
Right. Thank you.
Prabhuji, we should do all our actions and activities as per the dharma, basically.
Yeah. Okay, you have to do as per dharma, as per your prescribed duties. Okay.
Yes,
And what
Prabhuji,
pleases Krishna? What will please Krishna?
yes,
Whatever
for the
pleases
pleasure of the
Krishna.
Lord.
Yeah, of course. And if we do dharma, it pleases Lord, because He created dharma, right? He only created the Chaturvanyam. He created these divisions of everything, right? So
Yes.
obviously that will make Him happy. Okay. So yeah, there's a very nice point here. Okay, there's a very, very practical, straightforward, very simple and practical, yet we don't get this. Okay. Or I don't get this, I would say. The pure devotees, when they see the deity of Krishna, they don't see any difference between the deity of Krishna and Krishna himself. See, for me, for example, I'm saying, for me, I may have some reservation or some thought that, okay, this is temple of Krishna, like that. Okay, but Krishna is in Goloka. But a pure devotee doesn't think like that. A pure devotee does not see any difference between the deity of Krishna and Krishna himself. Absolutely no difference. So, the authorized process of directly serving Krishna. Of course, we can serve Krishna by doing our duties. That is also one service. When you do, it is said that Varnashrama pumsan Vishnur aradate puman. You know, Vishnu Purana says, simply if you are doing your Varnashrama dharma, means if you're being, just following your dharma, being a good father, good mother, good husband, good father, all of that, okay, good person, good businessman, good politician, whatever. You're just doing your good. If you're just doing good work, you're worshiping Lord Vishnu. It's already there. But there is a way to intimately worship Krishna. So that is one way of worship. Definitely, I don't say that that's not worship at all. Definitely, work is worship. If you do your work properly, it is definitely worship of God. There's no doubt about it. Work is worship. Agree. But the pure devotees have this realization clearly that, the deity of Krishna is completely non-different and is so personal. Okay, the form of Krishna is so important. Okay, to be able to serve that supreme form is very important. I mean, we saw the last verse here. It said, the most important point of this 11th chapter, one has to understand from the purport of this, that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. Don't take the form of Krishna lightly. Why? How did this conclusion come? Because Krishna, originally 200 form, he showed the Vishwarupa. And that Vishwarupa was like a form of death. Right? When he was asked, Vishwarupa was asked by Arjuna, who are you? What is your purpose? Then he said, Kalos mi loka kshaya pravritto. He said, I am the time who's come to devour everything, including the sides of Kauravas and Pandavas, except you, few people. So Virat Rupa is also an expansion of Krishna. So we should not mistake that Krishna is an expansion of Vishwarupa. And Vishnu form, first he shows Vishwarupa, then he shows the 400 form, transcendental form of the Lord. Vishnu form is transcendental, Satchidananda form, the 400 form. So even 400 of form of Vishnu, right? The pure devotees, for them, Krishna's form, 200 form, Shyam Sundar form is more important for them, Shyam Sundar form. So that is, that's why ISKCON, is very unique, because we worship Krishna. Of course, Vishnu is not different. It's a form of Krishna, 400 form of Krishna only, but still we stress a lot on that original form of that Krishna, because he is the essential and supreme. There's a very nice point here. It says, there are many personalities of Godheads, and Krishna is the supreme among all the personalities of Godhead. That's what he said. He is the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead. For example, Lord Vishnu is also personality of Godhead. Lord Balaram is also personality of Godhead. Lord Sankarshan is also personality of Godhead. But Krishna is the supreme of all of that personalities of Godhead. And that Krishna Loka is the highest Paramdham. And a pure devotee wants to only associate with that form of Krishna. He wants to serve that form of Krishna. Okay, we don't have this realization, but when the temple deity worship is going on, as per the authorized Shastras, Krishna is getting personally served. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I'll tell you one simple thing. See, you can serve somebody by following their instructions. Okay, that's fine. That is one way of serving. But what if that person comes, for example, let's say you get somebody as a guest, some very great personality, maybe your teacher or something like that. Okay. How would you personally serve that person? It makes sense, no? You personally serve. Okay, somebody very important. Right? How do you personally serve? Tell me, what do you do when somebody very important comes to your home? How do you personally serve? Tell me.
We take care of his basically expectations and what he likes, what he prefers.
What he likes, what he prefers. First of all, we'll try to spend more time with that person, right? And then what else? Yeah, what else? We try to do something nice.
Undivided attention, time.
Yeah. We'll try to amuse that person. Maybe we'll try to show something nice, tell something interesting. We'll try to glorify that person, say, you're so great, you're so good, everything like that, We'll try to please that person very much, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So especially, you give some nice food, right? So something like you're personally serving. Okay, understand this. Okay, we have to understand this point. See, while we are talking about all of this akarma and all of that, okay, we're saying akarma and we have to work we have to do our duty. All of this is fine. I'm not saying they're wrong. They're good. But do you realize that personally serving Krishna is very important? Okay, because he's giving you an opportunity to serve. By coming in the deity form, it's called Archa Vigraha. It's called Archa Avatara. It's an incarnation. Sometimes we ask, a lot of people ask, show me God, show me God. There is no need. This is very clear, okay? So Prabhupada also says the same thing. When you say, show me God, you go to Krishna's temple and see, here is God. No, but show me God. Then people say, no, not this. I want God. Show me God. Are you understanding? No, we don't have that realization. Okay, but pure devotees, they can see that the form of the Lord and Lord are completely non-different. I mean, what is our expectation is that we want Krishna to speak with us. Right? I mean, I can ask you a counter question that why should Krishna even speak? What if he's just standing like that? So for example, in Pandharpur, right? We have Krishna standing like this, right? Vithala. Correct? So what if he's standing like that? So won't we serve him if he's standing? If he's not talking to us, won't we serve him? Right? Actually, he's ready to talk also, but just that we are not so exalted to be able to talk to him. That's the problem. Actually, he has spoken with so many people. Actually, the pure devotees speak with the deities, There are so many stories that, the pure devotees have spoken to the deity. Deity has spoken back. In the story of Sakshi Gopal, we have seen that the deity walked also. Deity has done so many things, as thousands and thousands and thousands of stories, where the deity of the Lord has directly reciprocated spoken. Okay, we are not able to achieve it, so we become a little discouraged, and we feel, okay, if you're not going to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you, something like that. Okay, but he's ready to talk. Okay, but just that we have to advance. When we become advanced, Krishna is ready to talk. But the point is, deity form of the Lord is very important. So we have to understand this. So I cannot stress this enough that the personal worship of Krishna, the personal form, is very important. While we can worship Krishna impersonally by thinking about him, remembering him like that, okay? But the personal worship is like, directly to be able to serve him, serve the deity form of the Lord, right? So, for example, we are going to have, if we have Krishna Janmashtami, okay? What do they do to the deity of Krishna? What do they do? On Krishna Ashtami, Krishna Janmashtami, what is the main program that they do? Abhishek. So that means you are bathing the Lord, just like Yashoda bathed the Lord. So Yashoda got the chance to bath the Lord. So similarly, Krishna is giving a chance for us to bath him. Krishna is giving a chance to change his dress. Krishna is giving a chance to take his remnants. Krishna is giving his association personally and directly. Okay, we have to take it. And important point is we have to serve him. Okay, we should not think that what is going on here. I mean, the opposite negative mentality of this is like, why are you wasting so much of milk, offering to Krishna? You can give it to some poor people like that. This is wrong mentality. Okay, we should not think like it's not at all. It's not a deity at all. It's not a stone. It's actually you should think that it's Krishna himself. Completely not different. So if you're going to offer milk to him, you're offering to Krishna directly. Okay, you're offering Krishna directly. So whatever food that you're offering, milk that you're offering, and there's a proper procedure for doing. The Shastras, the authorized scriptures are giving us a process that Krishna has to be worshipped in this way. Okay, it is called as there are 6 times. Okay, in the morning Mangalarti. Okay, and at around Darshanarti 7 o'clock, and then there is another Arti, and then there is Rajbhog Arti, and then evening Sandhya Kalin Arti, and then we have Shayan Arti. Like that, these are the different. This is the process given the Shastra. And when we offer, different items, for example, we will first of all show agarbatti, incense stick, and then we will show flowers, and then we will give water to Krishna, and then we will show some, chamar, we are fanning the Lord. So these are the services that Krishna is accepting. Prabhupada gives this example that, if you put a letter in a post box, it will go. But if you put a letter in some place which looks like post box, which is not actually an official post box, the letter will not go. Can anybody say why? Why does the letter go if it is in the official post box versus if I just put it in some random post box which is not actually official, the letter won't go to the destination? Why?
Because that is the authorized thing, Prabhuji. If you put it in a post office letter box, it's an authorized, dedicated thing. Exactly. Which will make sure that your letter reaches to the correct destination or correct address.
Exactly. Just like that, it's authorized way to send the letter. Similarly, the authorized way to serve Krishna, serving Krishna means, a lot of people want to take Laddu Gopal home. They want to take Radha Krishna home. I mean, they feel very excited about it. But you have to realize the responsibility, okay? The responsibility is to be able to serve as much as possible. Actually, that's why it is very discouraged. Generally, Prabhupada discourages devotees to take Krishna form directly. If you want, you can take Guru and Gauranga, who are very merciful. Okay, you can take Gauranga deities, Guru and Gauranga deities, because they're very merciful. Or sometimes Jagannath, for example. But Krishna, Radha Krishna, Prabhupada, very strict. Even the spiritual masters, very strict. Because the expectation, I mean, we think Laddu Gopal and we just keep it at home. But you are not realizing that he is the supreme person sitting inside your home. And he has to be served, that's all. Whether you are ready for it, you are not ready for it. And if you don't serve, that actually becomes an offense without us knowing. Because it's the Supreme Lord who is sitting right there and is not getting services from us. Okay, he's supposed to be served this way. That's it. And the positive point is, if you serve him, just like you're putting in the post office, it directly goes to the person. It immediately acts. Similarly, if you just show an incense and if you do it in the proper way, the arti, Krishna takes that arti. Krishna takes it. So this is important. Why am I saying all of this is, when we are saying Krishna karma, let us make it very practical and very clear. Working for Krishna. Krishna karma means utilizing our profit to construct the temple of Krishna. Let that be very clear. We have to utilize the wealth that we earn to construct the temple of Krishna, and you have to either engage somebody who is going to be doing in the authorized way 6 times, you have to engage somebody full time there, or you have to create a system there in such a way that there are always devotees serving that Radha and Krishna forms. So this is what we are supposed to be doing with our money. You see, that is Krishna karma. That is Krishna karma. Because when you contribute to a temple, please try to understand this, okay? The difference, I mean, we try to do some indirect service like Annadan. People get attracted to Annadan, isn't it? Or some like Go Seva, or something else like, but we have to realize that, deity worship is very important. I mean, it's Krishna's service, okay? It's very, very important. So if there is something like, sometimes there's the Mayapur deities, the dress is very expensive. Do you know it sometimes 50,000, 1 lakh rupees like that, the dress, and there are devotees who actually sponsor the entire dress. You know that? There's so many dresses that Radha Mother has. And why should he not have? Simple question. If you can have so many dresses in your wardrobe, okay. If I can have so many dresses in my wardrobe, how many dresses should Krishna have? Yes or no? Right? Agree, right? So if I'm ready to spend 25,000 rupees on a suit, or 25,000 rupees on a sari, then how much we should spend on the Supreme Person's dress? It's not a deity, it's Krishna himself. So Krishna karma is very simple. Krishna karma is very simple. The simple thing is, if a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and if he has to offer this to Krishna, he can do it. Simply, he can just give it to Krishna. To Krishna means, Krishna's service in the Krishna's temple. Just give it to Krishna's temple. This is Krishna karma. Mat karma krun mat paramo. I mean, I'm not trying to make any artificial meanings. Generally, the social service guys, everybody, they try to come up with something artificial. Mat karma krin means social service, something like that they'll fit in. No, it's clear. Mat karma krin means Krishna karma. Mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjitaha. Krishna is saying, serve me. Krishna is very clearly saying, okay, become my devotee, serve me, serve me, serve me. It's nice. It's like small kid, like, saying, come, play with me. Give me something. Right? He's saying, give me. He's saying, patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. He's giving, give me a fruit. Give me a flower. So he's asking very, 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 with a lot of hope that he will give something. Give me something. Please give me something. Please give me something. He's not begging. Okay, please try to understand. Why is he asking? Anybody has an idea why is he asking like that?
Because he is being merciful to us, Prabhuji.
Yes.
He's guiding us to him. He wants us to go back.
Yes, that's right. He knows that when we serve him, when we give something to Krishna, then it will immediately liberate us. So for us, he's asking. Not for himself. He doesn't need anything from us. Actually, because he's got all the best things with him. He doesn't need our fruit. He doesn't need any of our services. Because he's got, everything belongs to him already, isn't it? And there are some pure devotees who are ready to do anything for him already. But he's asking us. He wants to elevate us. That's why he's asking, please give me a fruit. Please give me some water. Please give me some milk. Please give me something. And then the next verse, what does he say? What happens after that? This verse, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, Yome Bhaktya Prayasati. He says, with love, if you offer, I'll take it. With love, if you offer, I'll take it. He's telling again and again. He's saying, love me, love me. So it's become like a one-sided love. Right? He's asking, please love me, he's asking. Right? So he's asking us to love him because we have forgotten the relationship with him. So he's reviving our relationship. Okay. Next verse, anybody knows what's the next verse after Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam?
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat karosi yadasnasi
Yadjuyoshi dadasi yat.
Yadasi yat.
Yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva
madarpanam. What does that mean? Next.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
Yeah, it's like intense love letter of Krishna. Okay. He's saying, whatever you do, just give me. So he's ready to take. Okay, he wants to take. When somebody is in love, okay, when they exchange gifts, they like it so much. When you like somebody, when you give them somebody, they like it so much to take it. I mean, for example, if you like somebody and if they give you some gift, you'll be very happy to take it, isn't it? So Krishna wants to take whatever you want, whatever you give, he's ready to take. So he'll be happy. Whatever you give, he's ready to take. And whatever he takes, it's not that he's just taking, he'll give million times back. Do you remember the story when there was a lady who was selling fruits to Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What happened there? Krishna asked for some fruits. Krishna brought some grains in his hand for the fruits that she gave. And the exchange was, it converted into all diamonds and jewels and all of that. Little bit of grains.
Yes.
Right? In Mathura, when Krishna went, there was a flower garland person who gave garlands to Krishna and Balaram. And they were profusely blessed by Krishna. Correct? So he wants us to be blessed. Okay, so we have to give this. So this Krishna karma is very important. So Krishna karma only can save us from this material world. Okay, so we have to do Krishna karma. And this Krishna karma has been explained very nicely here. Let's go through this. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna and install the deity of Krishna and arrange for deity service as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. Okay, so we have to install the deity of Krishna. We have to construct a temple. Okay, and arrange for the deity service. Deities have to be taken care very well. Prabhupada used to come and check. How are the deities? Can you imagine this? Let us say if you are a dharmadhikari of a temple, let us say if you are a head of temple, what are the things that you will see? If you are managing a temple, what all you would like to see? How are things going on? Tell me some basic things. What will you first see? Whether things are okay or not.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness. Is everything clean or not? What else?
Sringar of deities, Prabhuji.
The Sringar of deities, or or like are the devotees who are coming, are they being taken care well properly? Right? Are they able to take darshan properly?
Prasadam.
Arrangement prasadam.
Arrangements of, are they getting prasadam or not? The devotees who have come, are they eating prasadam and going back? Or they take darshan? And is the temple floor safe, not slippery? Some basics like this. Prabhupada, when he used to come to a temple, he used to see how are the deities. And he used to tell them the deities are happy with your service. He used to see that. He used to feel it. And he used to say deities are not happy with your service. He used to say that also. I mean, he used to say, go to some temples and says, deities are very happy. Radha Krishna are very happy with your service. We used to go to some temples and he said, no, Radhakrishna, no, you are not at all taking care of the deities well. You have abandoned, I mean, you had left deities and left. And you're going. That's not good. You're not taking care of the deities. So do you see how much personal it is that, we have to understand that, deity is Krishna himself. And we have to do Krishna karma. Krishna karma means we have to engage in construction of the temple of Krishna.
Prabhuji,
yes.
Sorry, I would like to share one thing here. One of my colleague, he does that 6 times puja for Laddu Gopal. So when he shares the pictures, he actually dresses up Krishna in woolen clothes in winter, and summer he will dress him up in cotton clothes. And at times you can see that the face of Krishna is very happy, and at times you can see that it is like a child. It is sad, or it is expecting something. Actually, you can feel it in that picture that he shares, and he also feels that. So maybe that is because of the devotion with which he's serving Bhagwan, that he's able to feel that. What you said just now, I recollected that.
Yes. That's nice. Yeah, there's there's one deity, Radha. So there's I'm trying to recollect. Okay, one of the Goswamis, Shaligram Shila converted into a deity, Radha Govinda.
Prabhuji, Radha Raman.
Radha Raman, correct. Yeah, one of the deity, you know what happened? Sanatana Goswami, who's
Prabhuji, I think Gopal Bhatt
Goswami, correct. Thank you, Prabhu. Gopal Bhatt Goswami had a Shaligram Shila. And one day that Shaligram Shila transformed itself into Krishna. You know that? Even today you can see online, nobody has carved that Krishna deity. It transformed. The Shaligram Shila transformed into Krishna deity. And even today, if you see, the smile is so, there's intricately, the teeth we can see. It's impossible to carve that deity. We can see
Prabhuji,
sometimes that he's smiling. Yeah. Yes,
yeah, I visited last year, and we clicked like couple of pictures from the front. And both pictures, teeth was like, smile was different of Radharaman Lalji. Even the placement of teeth has a movement, Prabhuji.
Yeah, every time it's changing, okay?
Yeah, it's changing.
So surprising, okay? So this is Radharaman Lal, okay? Just see this, Radharaman. So, every picture he will look different. In some picture, you can see his teeth. In some pictures, we cannot find the teeth. So it's so different. It's so mysterious. Where is the teeth now? Can you see? Okay, so something like that, okay? So the deity form of Krishna, okay? This happens, okay, a lot of times. I mean, that's why now Guru Maharaj says, a lot of miracles happen in temples. We have to ask the pujari. They will tell some stories. I've been to some temples and I've heard so many miracles that have happened. The deity reciprocating personally, right? So we have
Bhake Bihari Lal, they say, they say the curtain is drawn, Prabhuji, because one of the deities, when he was watching into the eye of the Lord walked with him.
Okay.
So now they draw curtain, Prabhuji, so that nobody can have eye-to-eye contact with the this thing idol.
Right.
So now I think it's Bhake Bihari only.
Correct. That's true. Yes, Mati. They keep closing the curtains again and again. So if you go to Vrindavan, you can see thousands of temples of Krishna. Thousands. So if you're a big businessman, if you have a lot of money, just construct a temple for Krishna, arrange someone for deity service. That is Krishna karma. Instead of doing, people, and some of my friends say, I want to retire in my life and I want to have a farmhouse. I want to be sitting like that with a beer in my hand. Do you understand that it is pure sense gratification? Are you understanding the opposite nature of this? Right. So this is so sense gratificatory mindset, isn't it? I want to just retire, construct a nice farmhouse and just sit there and chill. So versus, I want to construct a temple for Krishna. and arrange for nice service of Krishna. So that Krishna is so pleased, so that Krishna is worshipped 6 times in a day. Very nicely he is taken care of. And if possible, I'll go and personally also serve Krishna. Right? So this is called Krishna karma. Okay? If you cannot construct the temple of Krishna, you can engage in cleansing the temple of Krishna. That's also called Krishna karma. You can cultivate a garden. A lot of people like gardening. But instead of doing gardening for sense gratification, that I will enjoy, let me do it for myself. Let me do it for Krishna. I told you this also previously, isn't it? If you like gardening, have a nice garden for Krishna. Let all the flowers be utilized in the worship of Krishna. Right? That is how you're supposed to be doing devotional service. You can put tulsi plants and you can offer that tulsi leaves to Krishna. And by such an offering, Krishna is satisfied. But to have this faith, only devotees can have this faith. So those who are not having devotion at their heart, they don't understand what is the meaning of offering a leaf to Krishna. They say, what is the sentimentalism? Why are you just offering leaves? What is all of this? It's nothing like that. So that is purely atheistic mindset, because they don't have faith that, Krishna is not different from his form. Krishna is saying clearly that I will take it. Krishna is saying, once he said, it seems that Prabhupada, there was somebody from Brahma Samaj, Arya Samaj. So Arya Samaj, they don't believe in deities. They strictly are against deities, Arya Samaj. So they used to be arguing with Prabhupada that why are you offering to Krishna? Who is this stone going to take this food now? Like that. Then Prabhupada says, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that Patram Pushpam Palam Tum Yoime Bhaktya Prayasi Tadaham Bhaktya Upavrutam Ashtam Prayatam. Krishna said that he will take it. Should I believe in Krishna's words or should I believe in this rascal's words? Correct? No, simple logic, right? So, yeah. Prabhupada speaks like that. Whom should I believe? Should I believe Krishna's words or this rascal's words? Right? So, like that, you have to have faith in Krishna's instructions. Okay, this here is giving a straight, we are saying essence of Gita, this one. Essence of Gita is saying, Matkar Makrin Matparamo Badbhakta Sangavarjitaha. It's so clear, no? It's so clear. Is there any kind of confusion? Any kind of confusion? Is there any distortion, misrepresentation, any iota of doubt, any chance to distort this verse? He's saying clearly, serve me. Serve me. Matkarma krun matparamo. Matparamo means make me think of, I'm the supreme. Accept me as the supreme. Accept me as the ultimate goal. Madbhaktaha. Become my devotee. Krishna is saying, become my devotee. Sangha varjitaha. Give up the non-devotional sangha. Nirvaira. Sarvabhuteshu. Give up violence towards the living entities. Don't be violent towards living entities. Be non-violent towards the living entities. Yassamameti Pandava. If you are able to do that, then such a person will come to me. So who will come to Krishna? One person who is engaged in pure devotional service of Krishna, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation. He who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. So Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu means we should avoid violence towards living entities. Okay? We should not be, killing any animals and, eating, meat eating, etc. We should abandon that. Because Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu means we should be friendly to every living entity. Every living entity, we should see Krishna in them, and we should not, give trouble to any living entity. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this line, like the one should be friendly with every living being.
Yes.
How we say this line, Prabhuji, when Arjuna was fighting with his relatives, and even they were like some close relatives, brothers. How we can correlate this, Prabhuji?
Correct. So being friendly means, so if you are engaging in a war as a duty, it's not considered to be violence at all. It's considered to be duty. It is for the sake of religious principles. You see, for example, violence, which has an application, right? So, for example, if there is let us say if there is some kind of a tumor in the body. So, what would the doctor do? Doctor would surgically remove that tumor. Correct, no? But isn't that violence? Why don't you just leave that body like that? What would happen?
For treatment only.
It's a treatment, right? So this is also a treatment here. Okay, so this is the, following one's occupational duties is a treatment. And, the Kshatriyas, their duty as ordained by the Lord, Supreme Lord. The Kshatriyas are ordained by the Supreme Lord to be violent in the war field, not anywhere else, for the sake of protecting the devotees and the all the living entities who are depending upon them. That's why they're called Kshatriya. Kshatriya means they protect from the irreligious people. For example, imagine there have been so many invasions, right? When the invaders are coming to fight, do you think it's a good idea for our army or all the Kshatriyas who are there to be very peaceful and friendly towards them? I understand you, right? And look at what they've done, right? They defeated, 17 times Prithviraj Chauhan, and 18th time, 17 times they were defeated Ghajini, and then 18th time he came. And then later, Delhi Sultanate, they came, and then they came, and when they came to Vrindavan, they destroyed so much, right? They broke so many temples, they killed so many people who were just very peaceful pilgrims. And what is the problem, right? They are all peaceful pilgrims who have come to take darshan. Are you understanding? So, this is the thing. So that's why, in this situation that Arjuna has to fight. Okay, but not with an enmity. He doesn't have to have an enmity in his heart, but he's fighting as a duty. With the, with the knowledge that Krishna gave him is that if you kill also, it's not killing, he said. If you kill in Krishna consciousness that you are a Kshatriya, it is your duty to fight. And then you have to fight in the battlefield following the religious principles for the sake of religious principles upon my instructions. For my satisfaction, it is not killing at all. He says, with your full knowledge. When you work in full knowledge, it's not killing at all. Okay? So Nirvaira, it is also Nirvaira. Yeah, it is also like
thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, by being violent towards bad element is actually being good to them. That's good. Because it's like this, no? Let us say there is a leopard which has come into the village. Now, by being violent and putting a tranquilizer and isolating it, is actually being good to it, because it's actually doing a bigger good, because it is avoiding, killing of so many innocent people in the village. Are you understanding, right? Like that. Okay, so one can cultivate a garden. Any poor man has certain amount of land, can utilize that for growing flowers. So please, do gardening. Grow tulsi leaves. Grow some flowers. You can have a small pot, tulsi pot, offer that. You can have, even if you're in an apartment, you can have some flower pots, which give you flower every day. Take the flowers daily, diligently offer it to Krishna. That's all he's asking for. Is it very difficult? Is this very difficult? Right? That's what Prabhupada is saying here. Thus, the poorest man also can engage in the service of Krishna. These are the examples of how one can engage in working for Krishna. That's Krishna karma. Everybody clear with what is Krishna karma? Engaging in the direct service of Krishna. Right? And of course, we can serve Krishna by doing Varnashrama Dharma, etc. But this is direct service of Krishna. By doing the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the 9 process of devotional service is direct service of Krishna. And Matparamaha means to consider the association of Krishna in his supreme abode to be the highest perfection of life. I mean, we should think of my highest goal of my life. The goal of my life is to go to Krishna Loka. This is my goal of life. This is what we should be thinking. Right?
Wow.
Please mute yourself. Yeah. So we should not be even attracted to, obviously, I mean, Parikshit Maharaj, when he was telling Suta Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, when he was advising to Parikshit Maharaj, in the second canto, he says, do not get attracted to meaningless things like Swargaloka. He says completely meaningless. I mean, do not get attracted to this higher planetary systems. Where there is, you can drink Soma Rasa, and there is some higher planetary system like moon planet, etc. If you do some Jyotishtoma Homa, there's Karma Kanda. If you do Karma Kanda nicely, one can elevate to this moon planet, and they can drink. There's something called as Soma juice that they will be given, and that will make them very young and live for many years, and they can enjoy sense gratification for a lot of years. Shukadeva Goswami is saying, don't get attracted to this meaningless kind of planets. And that is karmis get attracted to that. The Gyanis and the Yogis, they get attracted to Brahman. Brahmaloka, Tapoloka, where there are so many people who are, meditating like that. And then the impersonal Brahman, they get attracted to the Brahma Jyoti. The goal of all the impersonalists is to just merge into Brahma Jyoti. They're like very eager to do that. But a devotee should not even be interested in merging with the Brahma Jyoti. You should want to enter the highest spiritual planet, Krishna Loka, Golok Vrindavana. That's it. So Mat Bhaktaha, he fully engages. Next, that is, everybody's clear with Mat Paramaha. So what should be our supreme goal of life? What should be our supreme goal of life?
Krishna Loka, Prabhuji.
Yeah. It should be back to home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada says, in Prabhupada's words, back to home, back to Godhead. He says home. That is our real home. Back to home, back to Godhead. To go back to Godhead should be our only goal of life. That's the Mat Paramaha. Next, Mat Bhaktaha means fully engage in devotional service. How do you become Bhakta? You can become Bhakta by doing 9 processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering prayers, all of this. Sangha Varjitaha, each and every word is important. Sangha Varjitaha means dissociate with the people who are against Krishna. There are 3 types of people. Those people who are favorable, and those people who are innocent, and those people who are envious. 3 categories. Those people who are favorable to Krishna consciousness are devotees. Those people who are innocent they do not have the knowledge about Krishna consciousness. Those who are envious, there is one category of envious, demoniac people who are envious of Krishna consciousness. Such people we should avoid. That association we should avoid. Atheistic people, etc., we should avoid their association. And also here it's written properly saying, those who are attracted to fruitive activities, mental speculation, demigod worshippers, all of that, we should dissociate from these kind of people because they are asat sangha. Sat sangha means pure devotees association. Anyabhilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushiranam bhaktiruttama. We must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. Association of the persons who are addicted to fruitive activities, the karmis, and the mental speculation.
Prabhuji, you are on mute, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we should be freed from unwanted association and contamination of material desires. That is called pure devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. We should be favorably acting towards Krishna. There's an example of Kamsa. Kamsa was always meditating about Krishna all the time, but it is said to be unfavorable Krishna consciousness, and he is still considered to be demon. We don't think that Kamsa is like Prahlad Maharaj. We say Kamsa is a demon, and he was killed by Krishna. So unfavorable devotional service we should not do. We should do favorable devotional service, always thinking about Krishna. So he got salvation. Of course, Kamsa got salvation, but pure devotees, they don't want to be like this, unfavorable devotees. And they don't want to be doing unfavorable devotional Krishna consciousness. They want to do only favorable Krishna consciousness. Means they want to please whatever Krishna likes, we want to do. We don't want to irritate Krishna, okay, like Kamsa or something who came to kill Krishna. So even the pure devotee does not even want salvation. He does not even want to be transferred to the highest planet Goloka. His only object is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. This should be our goal. That we should be worshiping Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaitu Ki Tvayi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying Shishtastakam, Mama Janmani Janmani means every lifetime. Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaitu Ki Tvayi. Let me have pure devotional service towards you. That's all I'm asking. I don't want anything else. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, he has got no enemy. Nirvairaha. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that devotional service can relieve people from all problems of life. He has personal experience. Therefore, he wants to introduce the system of Krishna consciousness into the society. What Prabhupada is saying here is, Nirvaira means to be friendly with all living entities, means friendship means we should give something good to everybody, isn't it? See, if I'm friendly to somebody, then I'll try to give whatever good thing that I have, I'll try to give him. So Prabhupada is saying, if you want to be friendly with all living entity, the only way of friendship is to be spreading Krishna consciousness. The example is Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life. His message was, Jesus Christ's message was love God. Okay, love God. That was his message. So the devotees are giving the same message, okay? Serve God, love God, glorify the God, right? Glorify his qualities, praise the Lord. Same thing, right? But yeah, we have a clear idea about who is the Supreme Lord. That's how we are very lucky in comparison with other religions. They know there is a God, all supreme, all powerful, all beautiful, all merciful. But here we know exactly who that is and how he looks. And we have the good fortune to serve that Supreme Lord personally by serving his deities. Okay, it's not idol worship, it is deity worship. Okay, it's like an authorized. When you have a consecrate a deity, it's just like the post office. Any service done to the deity is actually directly going to Krishna. Okay, Haridas Thakur, Prahlad Maharaj, they risked their life to spread Krishna consciousness. Even Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, right? He put everything into this Krishna consciousness and he spread. I mean, that's how we have become devotees, isn't it? I mean, at least I would not have ever become a devotee, if not for Prabhupada's efforts, Prabhupada's books, if not for Prabhupada's movement, if not for the devotees who are preaching and who are explaining all of this. So, yeah, the final point is Krishna, the form of Krishna. The form of Krishna, Shyama Sundara, two-handed form, beautiful two-handed Shyama Sundara form. I showed you, right? So now we are coming to the 12th chapter, devotional service. Now Arjuna is getting a question. There are some impersonalists who try to worship Krishna by meditating upon the impersonal attributes of Krishna. In 10th chapter, Krishna has explained about a lot of his impersonal attributes, isn't it? Buddhir buddhimatam asmi. I am the intelligence among the intelligent, he says. And he says, I am the splendor of the sun. Correct? I am the beginning, middle, and end of the universe. And the prowess of a person. All of these are impersonal attributes of the Supreme Personality of God. Are you understanding? And the impersonalists, they get attracted to the material form of the Lord, that is the Virat Rupa, Virat Purusha. But even that is a stepping stone, because even if they worship Virat Rupa, that is their first step. And when they advance, they will get faith in the transcendental form of the Lord. First, they have to start with Vishwarupa. That's why in Shukadeva Goswami, in Parikshit Maharaj Bhagavatam, he says first instruction he says is worship Virat Rupa. He explains the Virat Purusha and he says worship the Virat Rupa. Then he says, then if somebody is more advanced, was faith in the Lord, let them worship the 400 form of the Lord. Next, the 200 form of the Lord, like that. Now here is the question by Arjuna. Which is considered to be the most perfect, more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? Arjuna Vacha evam satata yukta ye bhaktas tvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Translation: Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested? So now there's always this confusion, okay? There's always this debate that's going on eternally. I mean, from time immemorial, this debate has been happening, more so, especially after the rise of the Advaita philosophy, that which one is more important, the impersonal philosophy or the personal philosophy? So there's always a kind of a contest between the pure devotees, Vaishnavas, and the Advaitins. Both of them trying to say that our position is the better. And the Vaishnavas say worshipping the personal form of the Lord is best. The impersonalists, the Advaitins, they say no, that's material form. Worshipping the impersonal form is the origin of the Lord's personal form. So that is spiritual purely. That is important. That will give liberation, not this. This is only a means, they say. So let us hear from Krishna. So this debate is always going on. But Krishna is very clear. Let's see what is Krishna's verdict. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Vesya Mano Ye Mam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yuktatama Mataha. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the personality of God, it said, Mai, upon me, Aveshya, fixing, Manaha, the mind, Ye, those who, Mam, me, Nitya, always, Yuktaha, engaged, Upasate, worship, Shraddhaya, with faith, Paraya, transcendental, Upetaha, endowed, Te, they, me, by me, Yuktatamaha, most perfect in yoga, Mataha, are considered. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith, are considered to be most perfect. Is there any doubt from what verdict has given, what Krishna has given? Anybody has any questions? Is this crystal clear? Yes or no? Does this put an end to the debate whether we should worship the Supreme as impersonal form or whether we should worship the Supreme as personal form? These words of Bhagavad Gita just simply puts a full stop, isn't it? Is there anybody has any questions or any doubts? Very clear. Mai avesya, upon me, fixing, manaha, the mind, ye, those who, mam, me, nitya, always, yuktaha, engaged, upasate, worship, shraddhaya, with faith, paraya, transcendental, upetaha, endowed, they, me, by me, yuktatamaha, most perfect in yoga, mataha, are considered. Okay? And people may be having some more doubt, maybe. Is Krishna really saying about personal form? Maybe Krishna is saying personal form. Is it sure? Are you sure it's only personal form? Maybe impersonal worship is more important. That is what is more popular, no? I mean, it sounds so advanced and personal. It looks like very primitive, like pagan kind of a religion. What is this? This is not spiritual. Spirituality means something else. There's no form, nothing, just sitting and 24/7 meditating, just vacuum, isn't it? How many of you got such thoughts? ये त्वक्षरम अनिर्देश्यम अव्यक्तम पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यम च कूटस्थम अचलम ध्रुवम सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामम सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः. But those who worship the unmanifested, which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the Supreme Lord by controlling the various senses and equally being disposed to all, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. Those who do not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but who attempt to achieve the same goal by indirect process, they achieve the same goal, but bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. They don't come immediately. After many, many births, a man in wisdom seeks refuge in me, knowing the Vasudeva is all in all. Right? Are you understanding? They also go to Krishna, but after many, many, many births, they become devotees. Now, next. Kleshodikata rastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha vadbir avapyate. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. Now tell me from this, what do you think Krishna is trying to say? Is he encouraging impersonal worship or discouraging? What do you think?
He is discouraging, Prabhuji. He's making it clear.
Is making it very clear and discouraging. And even if we have some doubt, okay, in the next verse, let's see what Krishna says. Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavamina chirat partha maya veshchita chetasam. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. He's saying the word tu. Tu means now contrast. Are you able to see the contrast? First he said, worship of impersonal is very, very difficult, troublesome. Now he's saying, ye tu sarvani karmani, but contrast. Yeah, impersonal form is also mine. They also come to me after many, many births. But those who worship me mam dhyayanta upasate, those who worship me personally, tesam aham samuddharta bhavami nachirat partha. He's saying bhava mrityu samsara sagarat. He's saying I will get them out of the mrityu samsara sagarat, the personalist. And bhavami nachirat. Chira means long time. Nachira means immediate. So he's making a very clear contrast. He's saying, we put a table, in school we say, what are the pros and cons? What are the pros and cons? It's like this. Impersonal worship on the left hand side, personal worship on the right hand side. Impersonalists, first of all, he says, the impersonalists have to worship the path, the progress in this path is very troublesome. And they come to me after many, many lifetimes. Personalist, it's very easy. It's not troublesome. Susukam kartuvamyam. It's not dukkam. So he says in a previous verse, Krishna said, no, dukkam apnoti. So he's saying it's actually troublesome. They have abdhiravapre. I mean, the impersonal worship is dukkam. This is susukam. That one will also, they will come. But bahunam janmanam ante. Here is saying nachirat partha. Immediately. Now, if you're given two options like this, for example, you go and ask, you go to a shop and you ask, okay, show me two mobile phones. And then somebody shows you a mobile phone. Look at this phone. Says it's a nice phone. It's a nice phone. It works, okay? Just that the battery is not so good. Okay, it'll switch off suddenly. Okay, no problem, but still it's okay. And they say, yeah, sometimes it suddenly hangs. It'll go dead suddenly. But okay, it's fine, you can manage. Something like that. And then he shows another phone and says, this one is amazing phone, it's perfect. Which one would you take? Which one would you take? The first one or the second one? How many of you would take the first one? Where, the person who is showing it is saying the defects of it and saying, yeah, well, this is not so good. Which one would you take?
Second one.
Second one, obviously. So Krishna is showing both. Okay? But he's saying, there's some people who want to do it like that. I mean, there are some people who are like that, who get attracted by the impersonal form. They want to spend many, many lifetimes like that, in search of the Supreme. So those people get attracted there. Okay, fine. It's going to be very troublesome for them. It's going to take a lot of time for them. But fine, then ultimately they'll come to me. But those people who are personally worshipping me, they immediately come to me. Okay, this is what Krishna is saying. Okay, got it? So we'll stop here, devotees. Hare Krishna. So we started with the 12th chapter. We saw 11th chapter, last verse, and then we saw how it's connecting to the devotional service and how Arjuna's question immediately asking very clear question. The timeless, the eternal debate that goes on between the devotees and the impersonalists. Krishna has thankfully solved it very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. But despite of that, the impersonalists, they continue to do the troublesome path and they label it as Raja Yoga. Despite of direct discouragement by the Supreme Lord. Yeah, it's also one of the authorized process of the Vedas, but it's a troublesome path. It takes long time, and they have put a label themselves and they call it Raja Yoga. But Bhakti Yoga is something like Krishna has certified it. It's Krishna's favorite process. It is the process that Krishna explains. Dharmam tu sakshat Bhagavad Pranit. So Krishna always stresses, become my devotee, do my service, do my devotional service. Always hear about me, always hear about my stories, always glorify me, always chant my names. That's Krishna is saying. And immediately you can be liberated from this material world. So those who have faith in Krishna, they will follow Krishna's instructions. Those who get distracted, those who don't have a bona fide spiritual master, those who are trapped in some paramparas, which are not belonging to any of the authorized paramparas, unfortunately, they got attracted to this, and they're going to take a lot of time to come to devotional service. They'll come eventually, but it's going to take a lot of time. Okay, that's the final thing. Any questions, devotees, or anything you want to add?
Prabhuji, this personal form of worship needs a lot of faith. Whereas I think the impersonal form, they feel that they are doing it because of their own might, they are achieving God. So might be a person with an ego who feels that I am doing it, I am achieving because of these actions. So they cannot move out of it. While personal form of worship needs a lot of childlike innocent faith in God. Only then, that is very difficult. It is not simple. It is easy to say, but it is very difficult. Because at times, even if we believe it, when we face some personal problems, we do tend to get away from what is the use of doing all these things. It does come in the mind, but it is very difficult to remove that from the mind and have a childlike devotion to Krishna for personalized form of devotion. That's what I feel, Prabhuji. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's a nice point. I think I very much agree with what you said, Mati. Yes, actually, the impersonalists, they think that they're doing it with their power. They want to do it with their power. They think that, I will achieve the Supreme with my knowledge, with my realization. I will achieve it. I will realize like that. But Krishna consciousness is about surrender. It's about revelation, waiting for the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It requires a lot of, like you said, it requires a lot of faith, like the childlike mentality, egoless mentality that I am nothing, I'm insignificant in front of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord should reveal to me. Instead of me saying, yes, I am equal to the Supreme. I am also Supreme. I just have to realize it. So non-devotional mentality. That's right. So that's why, it appeals to a lot of people because most of the time, by default, we are not so having that kind of faith. And that's why Prabhupada says it's like a stepping stone. Okay. Prabhupada says impersonalism like a stepping stone. Okay. So first, you start with this thinking that, there's no form. There's no form. I want to serve that formless. And slowly, you develop faith towards the form. Like that. So it's a progression, Prabhupada says. Right? So it's like a stepping stone for spirituality. So first level of spirituality, you can think, if you say suddenly, immediately to somebody, say, here is a Supreme Lord. People may not be immediately ready to agree. Oh, no, I won't agree. I'm not from India. I don't believe in Krishna. Something like that. But if you say, formless, there's no form, doesn't look like, it's just everywhere, all pervasive, almighty, then it's easier to accept, right? Yeah, there's an almighty, there's an all pervasive form is moving the universe like that, right? That's how it is. So, but then what happens? It requires, more than the faith. What is very important, for the impersonalist to become a personalist, the most important thing is he needs the association of the pure devotee. That is most important. When the impersonalist also, when he comes to the temple, he becomes subdued and he starts to pray. Right? For example, we have the 4 Kumaras. They were impersonalists in the beginning. Okay? And when they came to visit Lord Vishnu, take darshan of Lord Vishnu, when they didn't even see, they just took the smell of the tulsi which was on the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu, they became devotees. Did you know that? They became they became attached to the personal form. And then
even Sukadeva Goswami, Prabhuji.
Yes, Sukadeva Goswami was a very powerful impersonalist, very hardcore impersonalist. He just heard one verse of Bhagavatam, only one verse of Bhagavatam, and he got attracted to his father. And he said, teach me Bhagavatam. And when he heard Bhagavatam, he became a pure devotee. So impersonalism is a stepping stone. It's not the final. I mean, they try to put it in the opposite way. They say personalism is a stepping stone for impersonalism. They try to put it like that. I mean, but then there is no scripture, there is no validity of their claims in the scriptures. But, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this validity, this evidence that the 4 Kumaras were impersonalists before they became personalists. Shukadeva Goswami was impersonalist before he became a devotee. So that is how it is. But they just claim they have come up with some speculative theory that, first you start with personal and then you advance to impersonal. Actually, it's not an advancement, it's a demotion. You don't advance to impersonalism, you degrade yourself to impersonalism because it's a secondary and an inferior process in comparison with the personal worship, as explained by the Supreme Lord himself. You see? It's like asking for difficulty, that's it. It's like, it's like I can go back to Godhead in this lifetime, in this very lifetime. I can go back to God. If I simply accept Krishna is supreme and I accept his form. And if I accept that his Leela and Karma are transcendental. But the other path is, I don't accept that. But then I indirectly try to worship his impersonal attributes and give myself a lot of trouble, go through many lifetimes of that impersonal worship and finally get the association of a devotee and then finally say, yes, Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Right? It's like Prabhupada says, finding the root of the tree and watering it, or directly watering the root of the tree. The impersonalists, they spend a lot of time trying to research what is the root. I mean, imagine if I give you a tree, let's imagine. 2 options. Just put water to the roots. I'm going to say, here is a plant. Please put water here. That's it. And you just follow. And finished. There is another person. what he does is every day he will take one drop of water and put on each part of the thing. And every day he does experimentation for many days, and then finally comes to the root, puts water and sees result and says, yes, this is the root. And then he starts to water the root. So similarly, the impersonalists, they undergo a process of finding out the root of the universe, Vishnu. And finally they find out the root of the universe is Vishnu, and then they start worshipping him. By that time they lost a lot of time and they underwent a lot of difficulties in their process. But the devotees, they simply have a good habit that they listen from authority. When they hear from a pure devotee, they accept it as it is. And because of that, they save a lot of time and they go back to Godhead. Okay, clear? Okay. Hare Krishna, devotees.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.